Mordekaiser is making players scared. Hello Inting teammates, today we're diving into a significant change that affected Mordekaiser's gameplay, the QSS update. It's like top lane's 9-11, but Riot, Riot have released a patch preview and I am lost for words. Well, I'm not, because I'm going to give you some thoughts, which is going to be words, but what the is Riot thinking? Mordekaiser, the Realm of Death, is about to live up to that name. The champ's already at a 52.8% win rate in Emerald and above. The way I'm planning to counter him in my game is by pressing the ban button before I have to see him press ult on me. But I digress. The ult, it banishes a player to his death realm, essentially forcing a 1v1 for an entire 7 seconds. To put that into context, a Morgana fully leveled Q with no tenacity is 2.5 seconds. And that feels like an eternity. Tryndamere's ult is 5 seconds. 7 seconds is insane. And it isn't even a fair 1v1. He heals 10% of the enemy's max HP, steals 10% of all their stats, attack speed, magic resist, armor, the lot, and reduces those stats of his opponent by 10%. So you have to be significantly ahead of the curve to 1v1 him, and certain champs it's virtually impossible. However, the counterplay, for just 1,300 gold, spent on this beautiful item called a QSS or Quicksilver Sash, you can press the active and instantly escape his ult. Now this felt fair because 1,300 gold is a significant sum of money, which puts you behind in terms of getting to your items. The QSS and the completed items, Merc Scimitar, they're nothing to write home about. They're not great items, so you have a significant cost in purchasing the outplay potential. But they remove this. Again, Riot, why? It makes no sense. So as an Akshan player, I apologise for my sins. I know I've just thrown any goodwill or sympathy out the window for that, but I always buy QSS against Mord, as I have to be significantly ahead of the Mord to be able to survive, let alone win, depending on where he ults me and if I can swing away. Now, I literally can't walk near him a 1v1 or I die as Akshan if he chooses to. Like, it's just one of those matchups where he wins a 1v1 and now he can just force it with no counterplay. There's nothing, there's no escape. And worse champs are into him. And there are champs that are worse into him than Akshan. Akshan certainly isn't the worst. For example, I'm thinking Jinx, so any ADC really, bar select few. Control mages, Orianna, things like Kata, Twisted Fate, Talon. Anyone just can't 1v1 him. So anyone that isn't a bruiser really struggles into him. And it kind of sucks because it feels great for the Mordekaiser, but everybody else in the game, it feels terrible. You're not really outplayed, he just presses ult and kills you. There's a couple of other things that came to me. Is it also makes him kind of ungankable the further the game goes on. You know, you 2v1 him, get out the ult, get the 2v1. Now you can't do that. Now you have to be able to hold your own. So I'm thinking if I'm with, I've got her on my mind, but if I'm with a Vi and I'm Akshan, one of us needs to be able to hold our own in there for 7 seconds before the other one comes in, which is going to be hard. This is for the MSI patch, and I don't think he's very interesting to watch at all. There's nothing interesting about a point and click R, and he's got a Q, a shield, and a pull. Like there's no outplay potential. There's no like, oh my god, what's he done? Like it really makes no sense. It's going to be very boring to watch. I always think they're on a slippery slope in terms of making these exceptions. I'm not sure if they've done some in the past. I'm sure they have. But to change or nerf the interaction of an item and remove counterplay purely, I don't really know why. It's a very confusing and slippery slope. So imagine if, let's say Morgana's Q, right? 2.5 seconds. Let's say Merc Treads and Tenacity are not feeling good for Morgana's Q because people are escaping it too fast. So we're going to remove Merc Tread's ability to reduce Morgana's Q. You'd be like, what? What? And if they add more of stuff like this, like a player is going to look and be like, Mordekaiser's in here. If I haven't read the patch notes, I'm going to buy QSS. And then I'm like, what the hell? The game's literally lost because I did this. But the other thing, I think he's going to be a balancing nightmare. So Vi, I would say fairly well balanced, but has been pick and ban in pro play due to her ability to lock down an ADC. And Mord minus a dash, if he has flash up, can do this way more effectively than Vi can. If the ADC is ulted, then the support can use, the support item. I can't remember the item. I don't play support. That gets people out of CC. The team can be around her. Vi has to dive into 5 of your team to get to the ADC, which gives you a chance to kill her. It's risky. Mord can just flash forward, ult the ADC. What can the ADC do? Now, let's say this is in, MSI and the Jinx Wars area is hyper-fed. I think they still lose to Mordekaiser, but even if they beat Mordekaiser, there's a team fight there where for 7 seconds a hyper carry is out of the fight at the cost of a Mordekaiser being out of the fight. And I just don't think there's a way to balance that. But yeah, the Reddit was freaking out. I've hopefully put some comments in throughout the thread. But let's see how this does. And for more incredible League content, subscribe for more.